Hey everybody, Jason Woods, FluxJet Kayaks. And here we are at the end of the year, and as we enter 2026, it's become clear it's time that we're gonna have to come clean with the truth about what's going on at FluxJet Kayaks. I've been getting hit up from every different way, including my own team, about releasing data and just putting it out into the world and letting the cards fall where they may. So to that end, I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. The reality is, we've been testing the kayak, we've been working on this for 5 months, 10 days, I believe, since we got back from ICAST, and we did not hit 6 miles per hour in our testing. As of December 1st, 2025, at 4:53 p.m., we have recorded a confirmed top speed of 7.2 miles per hour. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, really. So, that said, insert giant asterisk here. Oh, we don't have graphics, but if we did, asterisk here. Why? Because, yes, we hit 7.2 miles per hour. Are those results typical? Absolutely not. So, to hit that 7.2 required a 60-volt battery, ideal conditions, 250-pound payload. It's exceptional. We're super excited about it. I mean, 7.2 in an 11-foot kayak, I don't know if anybody's done better than that, but it's in a pretty elite group at that point. So that's all great. We're really excited about that. And the reason I've held back this information is because I don't want to set unrealistic expectations. Seriously, you guys are killing me. Like, if you've been following along this long, you probably know we've hedged it pretty hard. Like, really, we're kind of sandbagging along the way here because we don't want to set an unrealistic expectation that we can't deliver on. So yes, did we hit 7.2? Absolutely. Now the real hard work begins of trying to get to what level can we ship at safely, right? What power level can an off-the-shelf battery deliver and be able to realistically push the boat and consistently push the boat without breaking or damaging the battery. And we have to take things into account like, well, what happens if you're driving down the river and you're sucking gravel through the jet pump? I mean, obviously the higher the power level, the more likely it is to get damaged. So we're holding back a little bit because we're trying to get to the final answer of really what is safe and what is right to do that's going to give you the most durable product, but also the best runtime. You know, it's great that it can hit some crazy speed, but if you only get 15 minutes of runtime, it's not very useful and it's not very realistic. And if anything, it can give people a worse experience. Because if you go out and you're very quickly out of power, that's not great. That doesn't help your fishing day at all. So we're going through, and obviously for us it's very complicated because we don't just have one battery and we don't just have one voltage. We have to test every different voltage, and we have to account for every different battery variable that's out there. So it's really complicated. So let's talk about what we have released. We have put out the 12 and 24 volt data, and if you haven't seen that, it's pretty exceptional. Check this out. Here's with the 12 volt battery.
7, 38. Gotta turn a little bit here, we're running out of room. We're running that 24 volt battery. 4.6, 4.8, 4.89, 0.92, 9.4, 9.3.
Yeah, so at the 12 volt level, it's really pretty great. You're getting 3.8 miles an hour, something like that. It's faster than paddling speed, and you're cruising around for a really long time. It's drawing something like 150 watts or something. So at that kind of runtime, I mean, at that sort of draw, you're gonna be all day long, probably multiple days, depending on what you're doing. Pretty great. Endurance-wise, hard to beat. Compared to a trolling motor, that's something like 3 times better efficiency than a typical trolling motor would get you, with weedless capabilities that they can't touch either. So pretty amazing. All right, so another thing to keep in mind is that the system as it's set up right now isn't optimized for any specific voltage. So I think there's also a lot of interesting opportunities in the future for us to create different nozzle variations that you can easily swap out, just a screwdriver and you can swap the nozzle out, that'll allow you to get more performance out of any given voltage you select. So in the case of 12 volt, what we're limited by is that the pump is set up to be able to be optimized for higher voltages. But if we made a more restrictive nozzle, you'd be able to access higher power levels even down at 12 volts. So that's just another thing that's on the horizon, but we just don't have bandwidth for it yet. And then when you step it up to 24, it gets even better. You're doing something in the 4.8, 4.9. That's right up there with anybody in the 24 volt category. Not naming names, but that's probably 20% better than the competitive brushless options that are on the market right now at that same power level and speed. So that's pretty great. The tough part is once we start getting in the 36, 48, 60 volt range, little details make a big difference. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So the big thing we have to also bring to the forefront is that we are currently waiting on one really critical part. So in the early days, we got hit pretty hard for going with an international supplier for our hulls. And believe me, it brings me absolutely no joy to tell you this, but one of our chosen suppliers for a really critical part is a domestic supplier, and like so many other companies right now, they've been acquired and they're going through some changes and it's caused delays, and we're downstream of those delays, unfortunately. All right, so where does that leave us? Well, as of our conference call this morning I had with them, our original project lead is back on the team, so that helps a lot. They're telling us we're gonna get these parts in January, which is obviously not ideal. We do have pre-production parts that we're using and we've been testing with and will continue to test with, but the reality is until we have those final parts, we can't give you the finalized data and be able to get this thing totally validated and out the door. So that's tough. The good news is we're using our time very effectively. So obviously, every part in this boat has gone through at least 3, mostly 5 different revisions at this point. And we are using every single day we have it at our disposal to go through every single thing, continue to test, grind this thing out, and find every little weak point we can in it to try to give you the best possible product we can. So the other thing to keep in mind is that a delay in January doesn't necessarily mean a delay down the road either, because if we do have cancellations and that type of thing, we will be building these boats in the order they were purchased. So the reality is, if there are cancellations, if anything, that actually could move up the line for everybody else. So just one of those things to keep in mind as we start to come closer to ship date. So some more good news we have. All the kayaks are already here for January and February, and there's another container on the way. So that's great news, because what that allows us to do is to have all the kayaks here. We're going through the process every day of templating everything out, drilling out all the holes, running all of the wires, installing all the accessories, so that once the final parts get here, we validate everything, we can just install the drive, which is very quick to put in, and then we'll very quickly be able to get the boats out the door. Another really exciting thing, now that we have the new shop all set up, is if you're in the area, or if you're just a super fan and want to come visit, send us a message. We'd love to get you out here. I think the best thing we could do right now is get people out and walk you through, show you the process, and show some of that content. We'd be happy to film the whole thing, post it up, and get your actual reactions to being in the boat. And as time allows, we'd love to get you out and be able to actually go demo the thing. So we do have more influencers coming out to do filming and to be able to do their reviews, but I think getting feedback directly from the real people who support us, I think that's a huge opportunity, and we'd love to have you out. It has been a wild 2025. Let me tell you, the roller coaster since ICAST has been nuts. And I have to finish this year with a big thank you to everybody. It has been overwhelming how much support we've gotten. It's really kind of crazy. I mean, not just for the product and not for something new, but I definitely feel like given the amount of positive response we get from people, that I think people genuinely get that we are really taking big risks and we are out there trying to do the thing that no one else was willing to do. I mean, none of the big companies were willing to try anything new or risky, and we're throwing it all out there and trying something completely new. So I really, really do appreciate you guys understanding that, and understanding that we are creating everything from the ground up. Every single day we are breaking new ground that no one has ever done before. All right, so there are still challenges ahead for us in 2026, but when I look back at the last 5 months and the number of things that we've accomplished that everyone believed were completely impossible in that short period of time, that are very quickly becoming not only believable, but normal, it's kind of amazing. And when I look at my team and everything we've accomplished together with the factory getting set up, all the patterns and the templates and the tools and all the things that we've built in that crazy short period of time, guys, I'm feeling great about 2026. So let me just end this video with a mission statement. So for us at FluxJet, it's not enough to just build great products and have happy customers. We really aren't going to be satisfied until there's conspiracy theories about how this thing was developed at Area 51 with the help of aliens. So that's our goal line. So here's to 2026. Thank you all so much for your support. Have a happy new year, and I got to get back to work. So we'll talk soon.